Hi, I'm Don Crutchfield, and I'm the private eye to the stars.
In the Unresolved Problem segment today, spousal abuse in Hollywood. The latest case was rock star Tommy Lee, allegedly beating up his wife Pamela Anderson. Lee was arrested and initially held on $1 million bail. He's out of jail now. But Miss Anderson has filed for divorce. The incident comes just weeks after the actress Farrah Fawcett was allegedly beaten by her boyfriend. And, of course, the most famous battering case of all, Nicole Brown Simpson. With us now is Don Crutchfield, the author of Confessions of a Hollywood P.I. Mr. Crutchfield has done some work for Farrah Fawcett. So, first of all, in Hollywood, it used to be we keep these things quiet, right? I mean, because this is not good publicity for anybody.
That's right.
I don't know whether the publicity factor has changed, because certainly when a Farrah Fawcett gets beaten up, a lot of people, it draws attention to her, and a lot of people feel bad for her. I know I did. And you worked for the woman.
Right.
Were you surprised to see that happen?
Yes, I was surprised to see it happen. You're also always surprised when something like this happens, because there was no warning sign or anything like that. I mean, she never said, Don, I need your protection or that sort of thing.
Have you guarded her? Is that what you've done?
No, I've never had to bodyguard her. I mean, I've worked for her and Ryan through the years.
Okay, it's not Ryan O'Neal involved here. They're split up.
They're split up, yeah. But I mean, when they were, living together and everything, I've done work for them for many years. But there was never a problem between the two of them that I knew of.
Now, Farrah Fawcett, and we're going to get to the Pamela Lee thing in a minute, because I think there's a similarity here. Strikes me as a woman who needs a strong man. She's a little ditzy, unless that's what she comes across.
Yeah.
Is that true?
It appears to be. Yeah.
All right, so that's a yes from a private eye who's trying to be discreet. In a Pamela Anderson case, we got a guy, Tommy Lee, with a history of this kind of violent behavior, not toward Miss Anderson, although I do think there was one other prior, but toward other people who's been in and out of court. And is this drug and alcohol related most of the time?
Oh, I'm sure some of it probably is, I'd have to say. So I'm surprised this hadn't come out before now.
Really?
I mean, the guy's a violent type of guy. He's caused a lot of problems everywhere he's gone. And, of course, he was on probation. They found a gun there. There were several factors. $1 million bail is pretty high, though, because, I mean, that's more than they put on murders in some cases.
Right.
But I'll tell you why, Bill. It's very simple. I can break it down for you. It's after O.J.
Yep.
Before O.J., it was a different story. After O.J., things changed. And, I mean, you can almost see the visual of Nicole standing there bleeding while the policeman's there to take a report. And she's saying, please help me. And he's saying, lady, can't you see I'm talking to the juice?
Yeah.
Come on, give me a break.
But wasn't there an attitude before the Simpson case with the LAPD, particularly Beverly Hills PD, some of the other rich communities, trying to keep this stuff down?
Yes, and also, a policeman never wanted to get involved in these kind of cases, because the only thing you could do is lose. You could never win. First of all, you're going into a violent situation. You don't know what you're going to run into. Those are the most dangerous calls that a policeman has to make, domestic violence. But also, you're going to lose your victim before you get to court. And what's going to happen, this woman is beat up and she wants to file a report, but then when it comes time, well, really what happened was I fell down the stairs, or I don't want to
testify.
I don't want to testify.
We're even hearing that in the Farrah Fawcett thing now. She may not bring it.
But still, the police don't care anymore. See, after the O.J. thing, that's okay. You don't have to testify. But they're still, if they got probable cause, they're still going to arrest you.
Yeah,
and
you got to get it on the record.
And actually, the bail has been $50,000 after O.J. I mean, which I thought was pretty steep. I mean, that's felony-type bail, $50,000. Not everybody can raise that.
Yeah, well,
but $1 million, I've never heard of that before.
They busted it down to $500,000.
Well, I know.
That's what he wanted.
Sure, but still $500,000. Right. That's 10 times.
What do you think, though? You know this world pretty well, but why do you think a woman like Pamela Anderson, who's powerful and wealthy on her own right, much more famous than Tommy Lee, and this guy Tommy Lee, he was married to Heather Locklear as well. I don't know what. Because this guy's not a great-looking guy. I don't know what's going on here. But why do you think that a woman like Ms. Anderson, number one, selects a slug like Lee and stays with him?
Opposites attract. Who knows? I mean, I think they set the bail. They figured $10 per tattoo.
But there's got to be a psychology about it, and I have to confess to the audience, I'm not really sure what it is with these women who are drawn to these crazy, dangerous guys.
Yeah.
Is it a thrill thing?
It is a thrill, I guess. I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, she could have any guy she wanted, really.
And then she takes this jerk.
Yeah, and the same thing with Heather Locklear. I mean, the same thing.
Heather at least got out of it. Now, listen, this has been going on.
And she's getting out of it now, it looks like.
Yeah, Lee's filed for divorce.
Yes.
And he can't even see the two babies they have. And all of this allegedly took place in front of the little baby. I mean, it's just horrible. This has been going on for a long time in Hollywood, and the most famous case, of course, is Lana Turner, which you're familiar with.
Yes.
Just fill us in for people who need to be refreshed here.
Well, back in 1956, I believe, Lana Turner had a boyfriend, Johnny Stompanato. This guy was a mob guy, a bodyguard, what have you, a very violent guy. And I mean, you talk about abusing somebody. He had allegedly beaten her and terrorized her and her young daughter at that time, Cheryl Crane. Cheryl was about 14 years old at the time. I knew Steve Crane very well, Cheryl's father.
Right. Who was married to Lana Turner.
And he owned a place called the Luau Restaurant. Our office used to be at 430 North Rodeo, right across from the Luau. We had our own table in there. It was a great place to go. And the joke around there used to be, gosh, you know, Steve Crane married Lana Turner twice. And the rest of us only married her once because everybody married Lana Turner.
It seemed like 8 times or something. But this guy Stompanato, they weren't married.
No, and she was doing a movie with Sean Connery. And in fact, this Stompanato guy got very jealous and said some things to Sean Connery, and Sean Connery beat the hell out of him.
Is that Sean Connery, you mean?
Sean Connery, I'm sorry.
The James Bond guy.
Yeah, the James Bond guy. This is 1956.
Mm-hmm.
And so, anyway, the story goes that he had threatened to kill Lana Turner. He was choking her, beating her, and what have you. And Cheryl Crane come out of the kitchen with a butcher knife, and he ran into it.
And he ran into it.
He ran into it.
14-year-old kid.
He ran into it.
But you're not buying the story.
Well, I knew, like I say, Steve Crane was a very dear friend of mine, and Cheryl Crane used to work at the Luau later on. But Lana Turner was nominated for Peyton Place that year. Now, the greatest acting job she ever did in her career was on that witness stand. And it was, Jerry Giesler was the attorney.
Who do you think killed the guy?
I think probably Lana did.
You think Lana Turner killed the abusive boyfriend?
My feeling is,
right.
and you know.
Well, Lana Turner in her day was the equivalent to Pamela Anderson, a little bit higher scale.
Yes,
I mean, she was a movie
much
queen.
higher scale.
But I don't think IQ-wise there's a lot of difference.
She made bad choices in men, I got to tell you that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, it comes back to the fact that aren't there men in Hollywood who are predators, who have some kind of psychological hold on these people?
Yes.
We got 30 seconds. There's a lot of those guys around.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, you've had the same thing in sports, too. I mean, you've had, you know, your Mike Tyson and Sugar Ray Leonard and...
but that's the man.
But these guys are aggressive guys,
right?
You know,
and it's the same thing out here with the money and the fame. Listen, Don, thanks very much for your insight.
Thank you, Bill.
We appreciate it. And coming next as we continue from Los Angeles, if you'd like to move out here.